So today we're going to go over compound inequalities again. We're going to skip the front page. We're going to go straight to the back. And at the top, let's write our stuff that we learned on Friday. So there's two types of compound inequalities. One is and when you graph and, it's going to be two dots connected. When it's an inequality, it will be written with the variable in the middle. For example, -2 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 5. I just made that up, but these go together. This is what, oh, let's put less than or equal to since I put solid. Okay, what's the other type of inequality? Or. If it says or, it will be two separate inequalities going in opposite directions. So like this. And this would be like x is less than or equal to 2, and this is like x is greater than or equal to 10. Two separate inequalities when they're graphed going in opposite directions. These are both called compound inequalities. All right, so let's do some word problems. Slit snails are large mollusks that live in deep waters. These snails have been found at elevations from -2,600 feet to -100 feet. Write and graph a compound inequality that represents the elevations at which slit snails have been found. So do y'all think this is an and or an or, even though they didn't say it? It's an and. How do you know that? Because it's ranging from this to this. That means I'm 100% going to shade in the middle. Yes? It's not saying this way and then this way. It's ranging from here to here. That is an and. So what is the lowest? -2,600. So I like to put that one on the left. What is the highest? X goes in the middle, or if you want to use E for elevation, whatever you want. And can they be at -2,600? So it's going to be this sign. And they can also be at -100. Okay, so to put this on a number line, I personally wouldn't have any strategy. I would just say here's -2,600, here's -100. It's going to be a solid dot shaded in the middle. I put it above just so y'all can see it, but you can put it on it. It doesn't matter. All right, let's look at the next one. Icebergs. The temperature inside an iceberg off the coast of Newfoundland, Canada ranges from -20 degrees Celsius to -15 degrees Celsius. Do y'all think that's an and or an or? It's an and because it's ranging from this to this. Write and graph a compound inequality that describes the possible temperatures. They want it in Fahrenheit. We're just going to leave it in Celsius because I'm not worried about converting that right now. All right, so what's the lowest temperature? What's the highest temperature? All right, can it be those? Yes. So it's going to be or equal to. Okay, put that on a number line. Here's -20. Here's -15. And it's going to be a solid dot on both, shaded in the middle. Okay, let's look at this next one. The sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the length of the third side. I'm going to say that again. The sum. What is sum? So what it's saying is if I add these two sides, it has to be greater than x. If I add these two sides, it has to be greater than. Does that make sense? All right, it says, write and solve 3 inequalities for the triangle shown. All right, so here we go. We're going to do A. How many inequalities do I need? 3 inequalities. All right, so let's start. Pick 2 sides. Anybody? X and 7. So x plus 7 has to be what? It has to be greater than 5. Okay, let's do another one. Pick 2 different sides. 5 and x. All right, x plus 5 has to be greater than. Okay. And then what's the last one going to be? 7 plus 5 has to be greater than x. All right, that was easy to write A's, yes? B, use the inequalities that you wrote to write one inequality that will describe all the possible values of x. So do y'all think we probably need to solve these inequalities? Yep. All right, let's solve this one. How would I get rid of 7? Minus 7. X is greater than negative 2. Whoa, can a side length be negative 2? So does this inequality help me? I really don't need it because a side length cannot be a negative. So that doesn't help me. All right, let's solve this one. Subtract 5. X is greater than what? 2. Can a side length be 2? All right, so that one helps me. All right, what's 7 plus 5? So 12 is greater than x. So I have 2 inequalities. Now, x can be a range of numbers, so it's going to be an and. I need to write this as an and. Which one of these is the smallest? So I'm going to put it on the left. Which one's the biggest? So x can be anything from 2 to 12. But are there equal signs here? No. So x is greater than 2. I wouldn't read that as 2 is less than x. I would read that x is greater than 2 and x is less than 12. All right, I'm going to pass out. Y'all are going to do 1 through 17. All right, I will do 1 in each section with you. So let's do number 1. All right, y'all ready? Number 1, all real numbers that are less than or equal to negative 3 and greater than or equal to negative 8. Did y'all see the clue word? So once I know that it's an and, I know that it has to look like an and compound inequality. If you want to write that up here, and is going to look like that. Or is going to look like this. Okay, so now that I know that it's and, it's going to look like this. Which one of these is the smaller number? So I would put that on the left so that when I do my number line, it doesn't confuse me. Which one's the bigger number? X is going to go in the middle. Now I just have to decide if it gets an or equal to sign. If I do it like this, the sign's always going to go like this. If I go from least to greatest. Yes? That only works if I go from least to greatest. But do I need an or equal to sign? Less than or equal, and then look at this one, greater than or equal. All right, so now I have to decide how to number my number line. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that'll work. So here's 0, here's negative 1, negative 2, here's negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8. Solid dots or empty dots? Solid, solid, shaded in the middle. 2 answers. this one, and this one. Could I have written this answer with -3 on this side and -8 over here? Yes. But the signs would have to, they would have to flip. It would have to look like this, and then that might mess me up graphing because I might try to put -3 over here. And that's wrong on a number line, right? All right. Go down. Let's pick one to do down here. Oh, you're going to be solving these inequalities. So let's pick a harder one to do. 9's just an or, but I can do it with y'all. I would say 7 because it's an and. 7 is probably going to be the most challenging for y'all. Y'all want me to do 7? Okay. I have to do distributive property first, yes? Okay, what do I need to do right here? Change. So I have 0 is less than or equal to 2x plus, what's 2 times -3? -6 is less than 8. In order to solve this, I need to get x by itself in the middle. Yes? So how do I get rid of the 2 and the -6? Which one goes first? All right, so I got a +6. Whatever I do in the middle, I have to do on the outside. So +6 plus 6. 0 plus 6 is 6. Is less than or equal to 2x, which is less than, what's 8 plus 6? 14. Is x by itself? No. How am I going to get rid of that 2? Divide everything by 2. So I have 3 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 7. Now, before you finish, ask yourself, is this from least to greatest? Is it right? Yes or no? So I'm good. I like it from least to greatest so that I can put it on a number line. All right, here's 0, 1, 2. Here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is going to be a solid dot. This is going to be a what? Open dot, shaded in the middle. Y'all want me to do one or? All right. Number 9. Notice that I boxed this in because that part is for a grade, the answer and the graph. All right, let's do number 9. This one has a clue word of what? That means there are 2 separate inequalities that need to be solved. So look at them separately. Are y'all ready? Distributive property. If y'all need a separate sheet of paper to show your work, you can get one. This is 2x plus what's 2 times 4 is less than 6. How do I get rid of the 8? All right, so I have -8, -8. I need to move this over somewhere. I'm going to come over here. So I have 2x is less than, what's 6 minus 8? -2. That's what I wrote right here. Is the coefficient a negative? So am I going to flip the sign? All right, divide by 2. I have x is less than -1. Or now I need to solve my other one. Here's where my answer is going to go, right here. I have to have 2 of them, right? So I got to go solve this one. Like I said, if you need a separate sheet of paper, get a separate sheet of paper. I'm going to get a separate sheet of paper. All right, how do I get rid of a -3? Okay, so I get -x is less than or equal to -7 plus 3 is? No, -4. Is the coefficient negative? That means the sign is going to flip. So I divide by -1 to get rid of the negative. I flip the sign, and this becomes positive 4. X is greater than or equal to positive 4. You must have both answers. Is this the least one? Yep, so let's just say zeros right here. Here's a negative 1. Here's 1, 2, 3. Here's 4. So I'm going to have an open dot on 1, shaded to the left, a closed dot on 4, shaded to the right. I'm highly suggesting you use a separate sheet of paper to show your work because it just gets all jumbled. You need to make sure you box in your final answer. Are we good? When you flip to the back, it's the exact same thing that we did on the front. But the problem is that you're going to have to solve it. So I'll probably help y'all set these up, and then you'll solve them on your own. So let's go set them up. Number 12. 3 times x. That's what's going to go in the middle. Because how do I know there's a middle? And. So 3x is going to go in the middle. Then we have a negative 6 and a negative 21. Which one's the smaller one? So it's going to go over here. Negative 6 is going to go over here. No equals 2. Do you have to solve that? Yes, you do. You got to get rid of the 3 by dividing, right? All right, do I need to set up the rest with y'all? All right. Number 13, is it and or? Or. So I'm going to have 2 separate inequalities. 1 less than x. Is that 1 minus x or x minus 1? Huh? Say it again. I think you were right, whoever said it. X minus 1 is less than negative 1 or 3 more than x. How would I write that? X plus 3 or 3 plus x, it doesn't matter, is greater than or equal to 7. Do you have to solve these? Yes. All right, let's do the next one. What do y'all see? And. So where's x going to go? In the middle. All right, here we go. The difference of 2x and 5. What does difference mean? And since it's an and, this is going to go in the middle. So 2x minus 5 is going to go in the middle. Then we have a negative 3 and an 11. Which one's the smallest? So it's going to go on the left. 11's going to go on the right. So I know it looks like this. Now I just have to decide, are there equal than signs? Yep, very good. Do I have to solve it? Yes, and then graph it. All right, number 15. Is it an and or an or? An and. So where's x going to go? All right, here we go. The sum of 3x and 1. How would I write that? 3x plus 1. Okay, then there's 2 numbers. Negative 5 and 10. Which one's the smallest? It goes on the left. Which one's the biggest? Goes on the right. Then it's going to look like this. Now we just have to decide if there's or equal than signs. This one just says greater than. This one says less than or. So that one needs an equal. And remember, we don't care that that said greater than. Because of the fact x is in the middle, it's saying this is greater than negative 5. So if you put it from least to greatest, you don't even have to worry. It's always a less than sign. Make sense? All right, so I set those up with you, so it should be easy now. Again, you're going to do 1 through 17. You should be able to get most of it done in class. Get busy.